Now, while the Congress party vows to bring in a pan-Indian caste census if it comes to power, or conduct a pan-Indian caste census if it comes to power, this very promise seems to have split its cadre in the state of Karnataka. Now, while the Deputy Chief Minister, Mr. D.K. Shivakumar, along with top Vokkaliga leaders, sent a memorandum to the Chief Minister to reject the caste survey that's been undertaken in the state starting from the year 2015, the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has hinted that he's committed to the caste census. Now, this gains significance as the Karnataka State Commission for Backward Classes is expected to present its report to the state government later this month. The survey results have not yet been made public, but certain leaked findings have indicated that Vokkaligas and Lingayats were not the dominant castes, contrary to popular belief. Now, Mr. Siddaramaiah, the Chief Minister, echoed Rahul Gandhi's stance, emphasizing the importance of conducting a caste census. And amid dissent, the Chief Minister also said that all requests will be considered, but the state government will first have a look at the report and its contents before taking a final stand. Let's listen into what the Chief Minister had to say.
ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ನನಗೆ ಮನವಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ನಿಜ, ನಾವು ಹೇಳಿದೀನಿ, ನೀವು ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ನೋಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಕೊಡಕ್ಕೂ ಮುಂಚಿತವಾಗಿ ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ವಿರೋಧ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಿ.
Now, the statement has come after the Deputy Chief Minister, Mr. D.K. Shivakumar, had signed a memorandum that had been submitted by certain members of the Vokkaliga community to the Chief Minister, voicing their opposition to this particular report. Mr. Shivakumar has said that the Congress is quite clear that a survey should be conducted, but it must be done scientifically.
ನಾವು ಜಾತಿ ಗಣತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಕ್ಷದ ನಿಲುವಿದೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ನಿಲುವು ಬದ್ಧ. ಆದರೆ ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಕೆಲವೆಲ್ಲ ಶಾಸಕರು, ಲೀಡರ್ಗಳು, ಸಮಾಜದವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸರಿಯಾದ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮ್ಮ ಇದು. ಜನಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಲವು ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಸಮುದಾಯಗಳು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಮುದಾಯಗಳು, ಈಗ ಎಸ್ ಟಿ ಅವರು ಓಡಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಪಂಚಮಶಾಲಿಯವರು ಓಡಾಡಿದ್ರು, ವೀರಶೈವರು ಓಡಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಒಕ್ಕಲಿಗರು ಓಡಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಎಸ್ ಸಿ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಅವರು ಓಡಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರವ್ರ ಜಾತಿ, ಅವರವ್ರ ಸಮುದಾಯನ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ನಾಯಕರುಗಳು ಪಾರ್ಟಿ, ಪಕ್ಷ, ಭೇದ, ಧರ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರು ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಂಗೆ ಒಕ್ಕಲಿಗರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ತಪ್ಪಿದೆ.
ನೀವು ಸೈನ್ ಹಾಕಿರೋ ಒಂದು ಪತ್ರ ಸಿಎಂ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ,
ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದಾ? ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಗಳು ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಲ್ವಾ? ನಾನೇ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿ ಆಯಿತು, ರಾಜಕಾರಣ ಏನೇ ಇರಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸಮಾಜದ ಗೌರವ, ಸ್ವಾಭಿಮಾನ ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರ್ತದೆ.
Now, on the 15th of November, a memorandum was submitted by members of the Vokkaliga community to the Chief Minister, wherein they described the report as flawed, incomplete and also irrelevant. Now, in its scathing remarks against the report, the community leaders stated that the data had not been collected by visiting all households. The memorandum also stated that in the absence of an original draft of the report, there are several apprehensions and therefore it's difficult to trust the contents of the report. The letter was also signed by Mr. D.K. Shivakumar himself. Even the Lingayat community and the Veerashaiva have opposed this particular survey. Now, there's a continuous opposition as well from communities in the state. The Congress has maintained that there shouldn't be deliberations before the contents of the report are actually made public.
Rahul Gandhi has already given his statement. He is the leader of Congress party, so definitely all state governments, Congress government should implement it. And I request our high command of the party that it should be implemented in the party also, not only in the government. But Rahul Gandhi has said, "Jiski jitni abadi, itni hissedari."
See, first of all, the report has to be submitted officially. Only after looking at the report can we make a judgment on the report. When we have not even, nobody has even seen the report, we are already jumping to all conclusions individually. So if the report is officially received, then we know what is the content of the report. Who knows what is the content? So at least I think the first step is to see what is the content of the report. And if it has been, then you can examine whether it has been done properly, not properly, what is the data showing, whether it's been scientific or non-scientific. You'll come to know by looking at the report. Without knowing anything, I think to make comments, I think is something which I think is not good.
Now, political rivals of the Congress party and even former allies like the BSP have lashed out at the Congress, saying that it lacks conviction in releasing this report.
ओबीसी वर्गों के लोगों को ये भी मालूम होना चाहिए कि इन्हें मंडल कमीशन की रिपोर्ट के तहत आरक्षण की ये सुविधा केंद्र में कांग्रेस पार्टी की रही सरकार में नहीं मिली है, बल्कि बीएसपी के कड़े संघर्ष एवं अथक प्रयासों से ही केंद्र में रही श्री बीपी सिंह की सरकार में इन्हें ये सुविधा मिली है, जिसका अब यहाँ जातिवादी विरोधी पार्टियों की सरकारें इन्हें पूरा लाभ नहीं दे पा रही हैं।
Whatever initiative been initiated by the Congress government or the Chief Minister Mr. Siddaramaiah, it is completely politically motivated. They are talking about the caste census, and at the same time they are talking about the survey on the basis of social, economical and political survey. But both are not the same. They are only politically motivated, which they are trying to take advantage politically, not having any concern for backward class. I totally condemn the approach of the Mr. Siddaramaiah, because this census has not happened systematically. It has not gone to each and every house. They have not collected the information, nor they are legally entitled to do caste census.
Now, we also spoke to Mr. Jaiprakash Hegde, the Backward Class Commission chairman in the state of Karnataka. He's rejected the charges of the report being flawed, saying that it has been scientifically prepared.
This is done under the leadership of district collectors, deputy commissioners. All the teachers from that area, they were trained and they went around and collected the data. So I don't know whether their statement is correct. We'll submit it to the government. Once it is submitted to the government, they'll take the decision. That will be between the government and the stakeholders. Even when they were in opposition those days, they wanted this report to be submitted to the government. Even the opposition leader Srinivas Pujari, Ishwarappa, everybody wanted it to be submitted to the government. So no, I cannot answer any further questions, because whatever is in the data and the report will be submitted to the government.
Now, just yesterday, Rahul Gandhi has reaffirmed his commitment to a national caste census, calling it the X-ray of India.
तो मैंने पार्लियामेंट में साफ कहा कि भैया पहला कदम देश का एक्सरे करना है। जैसे किसी को चोट लगती है, डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं, कहते भैया एक्सरे कराओ, टांग टूटी नहीं टूटी, हाथ टूटा नहीं टूटा। अब लोगों को दर्द हो रहा है, लोगों को समझ नहीं आ रही बात, दर्द क्यों हो रहा है, इसलिए जाति जनगणना देश का एक्सरे है, ये पहला कदम है।
Well, let's take this across to our guests now. Mr. Siddhartha Yadav joins us. He's from the Bharatiya Janata Party. Mr. Manish Bariyar is also with us, political analyst, as is Mr. Sanjay Jha, author. Thank you to all our guests for speaking to us this evening. Mr. Jha, coming to you first and foremost, what do you have to say about this apparent divide within the ruling dispensation in the state of Karnataka? Mr. D.K. Shivakumar is a Vokkaliga leader himself, and he signed on to that memorandum submitted by members of the Vokkaliga community expressing reservations about the survey that had begun in 2015 in the state of Karnataka, conducted by the Backward Classes Commission there. Why do you believe there is a reluctance on the part of the ruling dispensation to reveal its findings?
Siddharth, good evening to you and to my fellow panelists. I don't think there is any disagreement within the Congress party at all.
Okay.
In fact, the truth is that these are very complex surveys. Remember, you have to go into minute details, and it is very understandable that all communities and castes and subcastes want a fair representation. Now, obviously, the challenge is to, when you're making a very appropriate representation based on their population or assumed population, you have to try and make sure that the coverage is wide enough so that people believe that the sample size hasn't kept anybody out of the process, which is why I think when you have the backward classes chairman, Mr. Hegde, you have Dinesh Gundura, all of them saying that, listen, the report is comprehensive. If there are flaws, I'm sure they will, fix it down the line. This is at the end of the day, remember, Siddharth, the reason why you're talking about a caste survey today in Karnataka and all over the country, and I think I'm very happy that the Congress party is pushing forward with this agenda, is simply because India has a serious economic and social inequality. And the truth is, if you don't have positive affirmation, or if you don't have a positive discrimination or affirmative action happening, which is favoring those who are marginalized, I mean, we will perpetuate a society where at the end of the day, we will, it will be only a country of the 1%. I was reading a report, because you are part of the media, where somebody pointed out, I think it was Rahul Gandhi himself, that there are hardly anybody from the backward classes in the media, and we have become very elitist. So I would say that give the Karnataka government, let's cut the slack here. It is a complex process. It has got to be as scientific as possible. We have to try and be optimum, may not be perfect, but I do believe that the BJP needs to take a deep breath and pause, because their Hindutva campaign may fall flat, because ultimately people will realize that it's not religion, it's economic and social welfare that matters.
Well, the criticism that this particular report has been now subjected to, Mr. Jha, is the fact that it's not been carried out scientifically. At least that's the apprehension that's been expressed by certain representatives of the Vokkaliga and the Lingayat communities. Let's in fact take this across to Mr. Siddhartha Yadav as well, spokesperson of the BJP. We also have Mr. Abbas Haider, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party with us. But Mr. Yadav, coming to you. Now, the accusation against the BJP in the state of Karnataka is that this report had been commissioned during a Congress government in the year 2015, but when the BJP came to power towards the latter half of 2019, after displacing the fragile alliance between the JDS and the Congress that was short-lived, the BJP also sat on this, that there was a waiting game being played out by the BJP, because they were also apprehensive about the findings of this particular report being made public, and therefore they were apprehensive of the implications as well. What's your response to that allegation?
Look, first of all, it is very clear that the Congress party did this survey in 2015. They were in power when they did the survey. They did not release the data. They were again elected. They are not releasing the data. If they want to blame BJP and bring BJP in this, and they think that they're going to fool the people and people are going to believe that it is the BJP behind this, I don't think nobody is going to fall for it. I would want to answer what Mr. Sanjay Jha was saying. He said for such surveys are very sensitive, and it is important that the people think that the sample size that is taken is, very fair. Sir, there is no sample size. This is the entire problem. You are doing a survey just because you want to show that you are doing something for the OBC. Nothing else. If you are taking a sample size for a survey like this, when you are determining how many people from which community are living in your state, if you are taking samples, then you by default you are wrong. Yes. And then I think whatever your people in your party, your deputy chief minister are, the questions that they are raising, that the survey that you did was nothing but a hoax.
That's the allegation as well, that it's been carried out in a very unscientific manner. Mr. Abbas Haider, Mr. Akhilesh Yadav has actually led the criticism of the Congress party as far as the caste census is concerned. He said that previous Congress regimes and leaders have resisted this, and he's accused the Congress of double standards. Your response to what's happening in Karnataka?
So basically, Bharatiya Janata Party and Congress both have been on the same page on this particular issue. They have been against caste census. You talk about Kaka Kalika Commission for more than 1.5 decades. So, and even now, they have never disclosed the caste data of 2011 census. But, Congress party is saying that this is an X-ray of the country. So I think they not release the caste survey data. I was listening to your package, and one of the BJP spokesperson for Karnataka was saying that...
So you're accusing the Congress party of playing political opportunism here. Let me take a final word in from Mr. Manish Bariyar, political analyst as well. Mr. Bariyar, the Vokkaligas as well as the Lingayats wield a huge amount of political influence and electoral influence in the state of Karnataka. Do you believe that the Congress party is now seriously under pressure? Because if it does make these findings public, then it might lose or perhaps alienate a significant chunk of its voters as well.
Absolutely. It's a Pandora box, right? And it has already happened in Bihar. In fact, in Bihar, when the caste survey was released, there are communities like, Mr. Manji's party and Mr. Paswan's, they are 5%. There are others. So you will see a lot of churning happening post this thing. I doubt the veracity of the report. I don't feel it is scientific enough, although there are counter allegations to that. The way it was done in Bihar, it was laughable. We don't have that much of time to really take that through.
Absolutely.
But same thing in Karnataka, like actual number, the way the methodology he was talking about,
The methodology has been questioned by several quarters. Many thanks for all our guests. I'm afraid we're really short of time on this debate, but we'll wait and see as to whether or not these findings are made public in due time. We'll slip into a short break right now. We'll come back with more on the other side.